The Council's decision. The Galactic Council sat in silence. The room was enormous, shaped like a circle, with high ceilings that glowed with a faint blue light. Leaders from different planets filled the seats. Their faces were tense. All eyes turned to the central hologram, which showed a tiny blue dot spinning in space. "That is Earth," said Elder Marin, his voice steady but heavy. "It has vanished from our communications for months. All attempts to contact it have failed." A murmur ran through the council chamber. Some members looked worried. Others looked angry. They had counted on Earth as a strong ally in the galaxy. Now, it seemed gone. "Gone," whispered Counselor Vera from the planet Zarin. Her long fingers tapped nervously on the armrest. "Do you mean, gone forever?" Marin shook his head. "We do not know. But for now, it is unreachable. Its systems are offline. Its leaders do not answer. Earth is missing." Silence fell again. No one spoke. No one wanted to believe that Earth, the planet that had once stood against the strongest fleets in the galaxy, could simply disappear. "Perhaps it was an accident," said Counselor Rico, his voice calm, but there was tension under his words. "Perhaps Earth faced a natural disaster, a starstorm, or a collapse from within." "Perhaps," said Marin. "But we cannot wait forever. The galaxy does not pause for one missing planet. We have trade, borders, and resources to manage. Earth's disappearance forces us to act." He gestured to the hologram. The blue dot shimmered. "We must redistribute its territories. Its allies must be reassigned. Its resources must be claimed. The galaxy cannot stop for a planet that refuses to speak." Counselor Vera leaned forward. "We have always relied on Earth's technology. Its weapons, its ships. If Earth returns, it could dominate everything. Are we sure we are ready for that?" Marin's eyes narrowed. "We are not ready. But we cannot stop progress. We cannot hesitate because of fear. We must assume the worst and act with caution. We must move on." A low hum filled the chamber as new holograms appeared. These showed planets, stars, and fleets that had once been under Earth's protection. Counselor Rico studied the images carefully. "This will not be easy. Many planets will resist. Some may even rebel. But it is necessary." Counselor Vera shook her head. "Necessary or reckless? We do not know what Earth is capable of. Its disappearance may be a trick. Its silence may hide something far more dangerous than we imagine." Marin's voice grew firmer. "That is a risk we must take. We cannot wait to find out. Earth has left the Council, temporarily, it seems. But if it returns, we will be ready, or we must be ready." A young counselor, barely a century old, spoke up nervously. What if Earth returns sooner than we expect? What if it comes back not as an ally, but as an enemy?" The chamber fell silent again. Everyone understood the weight of that question. Earth had once fought wars that no other planet dared to challenge. If it returned with anger, the consequences could be catastrophic. Marin leaned back in his chair and stared at the spinning blue dot. "We cannot predict the future. We can only prepare. Our fleets will patrol the borders. Our spies will watch the systems near Earth. And our diplomats will be ready to negotiate. We must act as though Earth is gone, but prepare as though it will return tomorrow." Counselor Vera's eyes narrowed. "And what if preparation is not enough?" she whispered. "What if Earth has grown stronger than we imagine? What if it is ready to fight?" Marin did not answer immediately. He simply looked at the Council, his gaze sweeping over every member. "Then," he said slowly, "we will face the consequences. But we will not be caught unaware." Outside the chamber, the stars continued to shine. The galaxy moved on, unaware that a storm was gathering at its edge. Earth's silence was not weakness. It was waiting, watching, planning. And the council thought Earth was gone. But sometimes, what is gone is not truly gone. Far away, on a planet they had once called home, humans worked in silence. In hidden shipyards, massive vessels were being built. Weapons were tested. Pilots trained. Every day, every moment, the humans prepared. They knew the council had forgotten them, or thought they had. They knew the galaxy underestimated their strength. And they were ready to remind it. The council could discuss, plan, and redistribute. They could feel safe behind their walls and rules. But the humans of Earth, they were no longer the planet the council remembered. And soon, they would return. Far away from the council, on a small blue planet, life went on as usual. Cities buzzed with people, children laughed in the streets, and the sky shone a clear, peaceful blue. To an outsider, Earth seemed calm, ordinary, and vulnerable. But beneath this calm, a secret storm was brewing. Deep underground, hidden from prying eyes, massive shipyards stretched as far as the eye could see. Towering warships, sleek and black, floated in zero-gravity chambers. Their hulls gleamed under harsh lights, and powerful engines were being tested, their vibrations shaking the walls. Earth was not gone. Earth was preparing. Commander Aaron walked along the main deck of the largest ship. His uniform was simple but functional, and his eyes were sharp. He inspected the ship's weapon systems, the energy cannons, the shield generators. Everything had to be perfect. There was no room for error. "Our fleet will be ready soon," he said, his voice echoing in the empty hall. "The council thinks we are gone. They believe we are weak. They think silence equals surrender. They are wrong." Engineers and pilots moved swiftly around him. Every worker knew their role. Every action was precise. Rockets were loaded, systems calibrated, and stealth technology tested. Even the smallest mistake could be fatal. In the control room, a large screen displayed the galaxy beyond. Stars twinkled like distant diamonds. Planets glimmered quietly in the darkness. And far away, in the council's strongholds, no one suspected that Earth's ships were growing stronger with every passing day. "Commander," said Lieutenant Sarah, walking into the control room, "the new energy cannons are ready for testing. We can fire within the hour." Aaron nodded. "Do it. But only a small test. We cannot risk detection. Not yet." Outside the underground chambers, small probes silently slipped into orbit. They scanned the surrounding systems, mapping every obstacle, every potential threat. Earth was preparing not just to defend itself, it was preparing for war. In the simulation rooms, young pilots practiced maneuvers over and over. They learned to fly through asteroid fields, dodge enemy fire, and strike with precision. Sweat ran down their faces, but no one complained. Each knew the stakes. Each knew that the future of their planet depended on their skill. Meanwhile, scientists worked tirelessly in laboratories. New weapons, faster engines, stronger shields, they tested every invention again and again. Every failure was corrected immediately. Every success was carefully recorded. The Council had never imagined that humans could reach such technological heights. Outside, the oceans reflected the red glow of construction lights from hidden shipyards along the coasts. The night sky was alive with activity, though no one on the surface noticed. The world slept, unaware of the great secret hidden beneath its feet. In a quiet chamber, Commander Aaron met with Earth's leaders. They gathered around a holographic table showing the Council's planets and fleets. Aaron pointed to the screens. "They are weak," he said. "They do not expect us. Their fleets are scattered, their defenses divided. If we strike at the right moment, we can control the battle from the start. But we must be careful," said High Strategist Talon. "The Council has spies. We cannot afford a single leak. If they discover even a fraction of our strength before we are ready, we could lose the advantage we have worked so hard to gain." Aaron's eyes narrowed. "Then we keep moving. Quietly. Stealthily. Every ship, every weapon, every soldier, we prepare in silence. And when the time comes, We strike like fire from the shadows. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. And the fleet grew larger, stronger, deadlier. Every ship that left the hangar carried the hopes of a planet. Every pilot trained to perfection. Every scientist pushed the boundaries of technology further than anyone thought possible. And yet, despite all this preparation, a feeling of tension hung over Earth. Everyone knew that the Council's gaze could return at any moment. The humans worked in silence, hidden from the galaxy, waiting for the day when they would reveal their true power. Above the planet, satellites moved quietly in orbit. Sensors tracked any unusual activity. No one knew the full extent of what was being built below. No one suspected the storm that was gathering. The Council believed Earth had vanished. They assumed the planet was weak, isolated, and lost. They had no idea. Earth was not gone. Earth was growing stronger. And soon, the galaxy would witness what humans had been preparing in secret. Far away from Earth, in the Council's command center, alarms rang for the first time in decades. The large holographic screens flickered, showing strange readings that no one could explain. "Report!" shouted Eldamarin, his voice sharp and full of tension. "What is happening in the outer systems?" A young officer trembled as he pointed to the screen. "Sir, multiple planets are detecting unusual energy waves. They are moving toward the Council space lanes. We've never seen anything like this before." Counselor Vera leaned forward, her eyes narrowing. "Energy waves? Are you sure? Could it be a natural phenomenon, a star storm?" The officer shook his head. "No, ma'am. These are artificial, deliberate. They are calculated. Someone is testing the galaxy. Someone is preparing." Marin's jaw tightened. "Earth," he whispered. The word hung in the air like a dark shadow. For months, the Council had believed Earth was gone. They had moved on. They had redistributed its territories, reassigned resources, and assumed the planet would never return. But these signals told a different story. Far away, on Earth, Commander Aaron and his team monitored the same readings. The Council had sent probes to spy, but they had been detected. Aaron's lips curled into a small smile. "They are awake," he said quietly. "They feel the first tremors. Soon, they will know we are not gone." In the Council chambers, tension rose. Ships were being scrambled to investigate. Teams were dispatched to follow the strange signals. "We must understand what is coming," Marin said. "We cannot wait until it is too late." But the officer on the bridge shook his head nervously. "Sir, whatever this is, it is not small. It is massive. The signals suggest movement. Something large is traveling toward our space lanes at incredible speed." Vera's voice was cold now. "Do you mean a fleet? A war fleet?" "Yes, ma'am," the officer said. "Something like nothing we have seen before." The Council froze. For the first time, fear crept into their hearts. Earth, the planet they had thought gone, had not only survived, it had grown stronger, more dangerous, and far beyond what they had expected. Meanwhile, on Earth, the massive warships glided silently through space, powered by engines far more advanced than anything the Council could imagine. Pilots checked their systems one last time. Weapons were primed. Shields were strong. The humans had waited patiently, trained tirelessly, and now, they were ready. Commander Aaron looked at the holographic map. "Let them come closer," he said. "They need to see the beginning, not the end. We are ready, and they will regret underestimating us." Back at the Council, Marin tried to keep control. "We cannot panic. We must investigate. We must understand before we react. But," he paused, swallowing hard, "but we must be prepared for war." Vera clenched her fists. "We have underestimated Earth for too long. If we do not act carefully, we may face complete annihilation." The alarms continued to ring, echoing through the chamber. Officers ran back and forth, coordinating fleets and checking signals. Panic and uncertainty filled the air, but no one dared say the truth aloud. In the darkness of space, a small fleet of reconnaissance ships left Earth's orbit. Silent and fast, they moved like shadows, scanning the Council's outer defenses. Every movement was calculated. Every signal carefully masked. Earth's hand had begun to move in the galaxy, and no one could stop it. For the Council, this was the first warning. A signal, a tremor, a small sign of something greater to come. For the humans, it was the first step in a plan that had taken years to prepare. They were patient, they were careful, and they were unstoppable. The galaxy's peace had been broken, not by accident, not by chance, but by a force the Council had forgotten, a force they had ignored, a force they had assumed was gone. And now, it was coming back. The Council believed they were prepared. Their fleets had been positioned along the outer systems, their weapons were charged, and their commanders were ready for any surprise. They thought they had the advantage, but they were wrong. Deep in space, Earth's fleet moved silently. Thousands of warships glided like shadows against the black sky. Each ship was sleek, fast, and deadly. Shields shimmered, engines roared, and weapon systems glowed with energy no Council ship had ever seen. Commander Aaron stood on the bridge of the largest vessel. His eyes scanned the tactical display. "They think they are ready," he said softly. "Let them come closer. Let them see their mistake." Meanwhile, the Council's reconnaissance ships detected the approaching fleet. Officer Taryn's voice trembled as he reported to Elder Marin. "Sir, multiple unknown ships are moving at speeds we can barely track. Their numbers are enormous." Marin's eyes widened. "Earth?" he asked, barely able to breathe. "Yes, sir," Taryn replied. "It's them, but they are more advanced than we imagined." Across the Council's command center, alarms blared. Counselor Vera's hands flew across the control panel. "They have weapons we've never seen. Our shields, they won't hold." Marin slammed his fist on the table. "All fleets, prepare for engagement. Target the enemy ships immediately." But it was too late. Earth's warships moved like a storm. In a sudden burst, the first line of ships fired. Pulses of energy struck the Council's vessels, and explosions lit up the dark void of space. Ships were thrown apart before they could react. Vera gasped. "They're destroying us before we even fight back." The Council scrambled. Every officer was shouting orders, but the Earth fleet was faster, stronger, and smarter. Their movements were precise. They struck and disappeared into the void before the Council could respond. Commander Aaron watched the battlefield unfold on his screen. "Do not underestimate them," he said to his lieutenants. "Every move is part of a plan. Hit them where they are weak, and we advance." Counselor Rico gritted his teeth. "We have faced strong enemies before," he muttered. "But this is different. Earth has changed. They are no longer the humans we knew. They are unstoppable." In the chaos, small Earth ships snuck past the main defenses. Their weapons disabled key Council systems. Communications went down. Ships collided. Panic spread through the ranks. The Council had assumed they were in control. They had assumed Earth was gone. But Earth had been preparing, training, and evolving in secret. And now, the galaxy was paying the price for underestimating them. Back on the bridge of the flagship, Aaron gave the final order. "Hold formation. Focus fire on the largest targets. Protect our smaller ships. We strike once more, and the message will be clear." Explosions rocked the Council fleet. Their largest ships were damaged. Their commanders were forced to retreat. The Council realized, with growing horror, that Earth's attack was only the beginning. "Elder Marin," Vera said, voice trembling, "we have underestimated them. Their strength, it is beyond anything we imagined. If this is just the first wave." Marin's face was pale. "Then we are in more danger than I feared. We must regroup. We must survive, until we understand what they are capable of." In the darkness of space, Earth's fleet held its formation. No ship had been lost. No pilot had been harmed. Every strike was calculated, every movement precise. They had shown the Council a glimpse of their power, and they were only getting started. Commander Aaron looked toward the distant stars. "This is only the beginning," he said. "The Council will learn. Earth is no longer the planet they once knew." The galaxy, which had slept peacefully for centuries, now knew fear, and the humans of Earth were ready to claim it. The first signs appeared as tiny blips on the Council sensors. Then came the shadows, thousands of dark shapes moving across the stars, like a swarm of unstoppable predators. "Sir, it's them," Officer Taryn whispered, staring at the screens. "They're enormous. Too many to count." Elder Marin's face went pale. "All fleets, prepare for full engagement. Defend your systems. Target them now." But the Council was too slow. The humans of Earth had waited for this moment. The fleets that had trained in silence for years now revealed their true strength. Commander Aaron stood at the bridge of the flagship, eyes fixed on the holographic displays. "Open all channels," he ordered. "Let the galaxy see what we've built. The Council will know the cost of underestimating us." From hidden hangars, the massive warships emerged. Engines ignited with a roar that shook nearby space. Shields flared as thousands of smaller ships flanked the Titans. In seconds, the Council's fleets were surrounded. "Sir, their formation is perfect," a young officer shouted. "They're attacking from every angle." Explosions lit the darkness. Council ships were hit before they could react. Energy beams tore through their defenses. The Council's fleets, once confident, now scrambled in chaos. Counselor Vera gripped the armrest of her chair. "They're overwhelming us. How is this possible? How can one planet have so much power?" Aaron's voice was calm, almost cold. "They underestimated us. They thought we were weak. They thought we were gone. Now, they see the truth." The warships moved like shadows over the planets. Each strike was precise, targeting weapon systems, communication arrays, and defense stations. Entire fleets fell in minutes, shattered by fire and lightning. "Elder Marin," Rico shouted, "we cannot hold them. Our fleets are falling. Retreat." Marin's hands shook on the table. "No, we cannot retreat. We must survive, and hope they do not finish this too quickly." But Earth's fleet had already planned for that. Smaller ships darted through gaps, disabling the Council's reinforcements. Shields that had once seemed impenetrable now melted under Earth's energy weapons. Above the surface of key planets, Council soldiers watched in horror as the skies filled with Earth's warships. Thousands of ships glowed with energy, casting shadows over cities and bases. It was a vision of power the galaxy had never seen. "Commander Aaron," Lieutenant Sarah said, "the Council fleets are breaking. What next?" Aaron's eyes gleamed. "We hold formation. We take no unnecessary risks. This is a demonstration, but the next phase will be decisive. The Council must understand, Earth is no longer their subject, they will answer to us now." Explosions lit the void. The Council's command center shook. Officers screamed. Ships collided. Communication lines failed. Panic and chaos reigned. From orbit, Earth's flagship projected a message across the galaxy. A simple warning: we have returned. Underestimate us again, and you will burn. The Council's forces faltered. They had believed Earth was gone. They had assumed weakness. They had assumed silence. Now, the galaxy was engulfed in fire, and the humans of Earth were only beginning. The Council's fleets had fallen back, battered and broken. Fires burned on their ships, alarms screamed across command centers, and panic spread like wildfire. They had never imagined Earth's true strength. But while the Council panicked, Earth's leaders knew this was only the beginning. Commander Aaron stood in the control room of the flagship, watching the galaxy's chaos unfold. Beside him, High Strategist Talon turned to him with a calm but serious expression. "Commander," Talon said, "the Council believes this is revenge. They think we are attacking for power. They do not understand." Aaron nodded. "They assume our fleet exists to destroy them. But they are wrong. We fight not for conquest, but for survival and balance. The galaxy has grown careless, and the Council has grown corrupt. It is time to remind them of the cost of arrogance." Below, Earth's ships moved with precision. Each strike was calculated, disabling key weapon systems without destroying entire planets. They avoided unnecessary damage to civilian populations. Their attack was tactical, measured, deliberate. "Show them what we can do without needless destruction," Aaron ordered. "Let them fear our power, but also understand our intent." High Strategist Talon activated a series of holographic projections. "We have identified the key Council leaders who push for war. Our goal is not to annihilate the entire Council, but to remove the corrupt elements that threaten peace. Their fleets will fall, but the innocent will remain untouched." In the Council chambers, panic had turned into confusion. Elder Marin struggled to maintain order, but voices shouted over one another. Councilors debated whether to surrender, to fight, or to flee. Councilor Vera spoke sharply, pointing at a damaged map of the fleet. "We underestimated Earth. But now, they are not attacking recklessly. Every strike, every movement, it is precise. They are targeting us, not the galaxy. There is a plan behind this." "Yes," Rico replied, his voice tight. "And we do not know the full extent. Their fleet, their technology, it is more than a show of force. It is a message. But what is the message?" Above, Earth's flagship projected another holographic signal into space. It was not a threat. It was a warning. A simple symbol appeared across all communication channels, a blue circle surrounded by a shield. The Council did not understand it. But they would. "Commander," Lieutenant Sarah asked, "what will we do next?" Aaron's eyes were steady. "We continue. But we show restraint. We must let the Council see that Earth has returned not as a tyrant, but as a force they cannot ignore. We give them the choice, surrender corruption, or face the consequences. The galaxy must learn. Earth is not gone. We are awake." 4 hours, the fleet moved through the Council's borders. Every system was surveyed. Every fleet challenged, but never destroyed beyond repair. Earth's ships displayed power and mercy simultaneously, creating fear and awe. Back at the Council, Marin's hands trembled over the console. "We are being shown a plan," he whispered. "They are not here to destroy us. They are here to correct our mistakes." Vera's eyes widened. If this is true, if Earth has the wisdom to fight without total destruction, then perhaps we misjudged them all along. Aaron turned to his crew. "The galaxy must understand that strength is not just power. True power comes with purpose. Our message is clear. The Council underestimated Earth, but we are not here for chaos. We are here for balance." The humans of Earth moved silently through space, a force both terrifying and just. They had shown the galaxy their strength, but the full plan remained hidden, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. And the Council, for the first time in centuries, knew fear and respect. The war was not over. Not yet. But the next move belonged to Earth. The galaxy held its breath. The Council, battered and shaken, had gathered its remaining fleets. Orders were shouted, alarms blared, and commanders struggled to keep control. Every planet under their rule waited in fear, unsure of what was coming next. Far away, Earth's flagship glided silently through space. Commander Aaron stood on the bridge, calm and focused. Around him, the humans of Earth prepared for the final phase. Weapons were ready. Shields at maximum. Pilots focused. Engineers monitored every system. Every detail had been planned for this moment. "Today," Aaron said quietly, "we remind the galaxy of Earth's strength. The Council has been warned. Now they will see it for themselves. Lieutenant Sarah nodded. All ships ready, Commander. Awaiting your order. Aaron's eyes scanned the tactical display. Thousands of warships, perfectly aligned, waited for the signal. He pressed a single button. Engines roared, lights flared, and the fleet surged forward like a living storm. On the Council's command center, alarms screamed louder than ever. Sir, they're advancing again. The fleet, it's unstoppable. Elder Marin's hands shook over the console. All units, prepare for defense. Deploy everything. But defense was futile. Earth's fleet struck with precision and speed that no Council ship could match. Energy beams tore through warships. Shields shattered. The Council's remaining forces were overwhelmed, their formations collapsing. Commander Aaron watched every movement on the bridge. Focus on command centers, he ordered. We take out the leaders who push for war. Do not harm the innocent. Counselor Vera's voice rang through the control room. They are disciplined. They fight with purpose, not chaos. Every strike is calculated. We are being outsmarted. As the Council's fleets fell back, Earth's warships moved into a perfect formation, surrounding the remaining Council ships. They had nowhere to hide. The humans did not strike recklessly. Every move was tactical, every attack decisive. High Strategist Talon activated the final measure. Holographic maps displayed the Council's leaders and key fleets. This is it, Commander. The decisive moment. Aaron gave the command. Proceed. Let them see the cost of underestimating Earth. Explosions rocked the Council's forces. Entire fleets were incapacitated. Ships collided in panic. The Council had no time to regroup. Their communication networks were disrupted. Fear spread faster than fire. From orbit above key planets, humans projected a final message. The galaxy has witnessed our power. The corrupt must change, or face the consequences. Earth has returned. Marin, exhausted and defeated, looked around at the broken remains of his command. They are not like any enemy we have faced. This is justice, not chaos. Vera nodded slowly. Yes, and now we know. Earth has the strength, the discipline, and the wisdom to lead when others fail. Commander Aaron turned from the displays, his eyes scanning the stars. The Council has learned its lesson. But the galaxy still watches. Others may rise. Others may challenge. We must be ready for what comes next. The humans of Earth had won this battle. They had shown the Council their power, their strategy, and their mercy. Yet even in victory, Aaron knew the galaxy was not entirely safe. Somewhere, in the darkness, other forces were watching, waiting, and planning. The skies were now quiet, filled only with the hum of Earth's fleet. The Council had retreated, but the story was not over. The galaxy would remember this day, the day Earth returned, not as a weak planet, but as a force no one could ignore. Commander Aaron's voice echoed softly across the bridge. We have struck the first blow. But the universe is vast, and our journey has just begun. Earth will defend itself, and the galaxy will know our name. And somewhere, far beyond the known stars, eyes watched. A new threat was stirring. The Council had survived, but the galaxy's next challenge was already on the horizon. The humans of Earth had returned. And the final move was only the beginning.